Hi, I'm Allie.
And I'm Becki.
We are registered dietitians that are passionate about using food as medicine, and we use functional approaches to whole body health.
In today's video, we are going to be talking about why you need a detox on your keto diet, as well as the impact of toxins on your body. Let's kick off. What is it about keto that makes us require detox support?
Right. So really the reality is we're all living in a dirty, toxic, industrialized world where there are over 6 billion toxins released into our environment annually. And we can even see the presence of toxins in newborn babies' umbilical cord blood. And we've seen in people's urine upwards of 212 industrialized toxins. So regardless of your starting point diet, we all need nutritionally supported detoxification. But when you are doing a keto diet and you're doing successful outcomes of body fat loss, you are losing body fat at a higher rate than maybe someone else doing another form of weight loss. That's why we love keto. It really provides enhanced body composition change. But when we're liberating body fat, that also means that those fat cells are shrinking, and some of the contents of fat cells include toxins, especially those that are fat soluble. We also see that fat cells themselves tend to be estrogenic. So your adipocytes, or that's the kind of fancy word for fat cells, themselves function with estrogenic contents. So when you lose body fat, you liberate the toxins that were sequestered in your fat stores, and also you get an increased expression of estrogen. This is where some people can start to see stalls in their weight loss process and estrogen dominance, or they can start to see concerns of toxicity.
So signs that you might need a detox could include neurological symptoms such as brain fog or tingling or pins and needles in the hands and feet. We could also see things like skin conditions, so seeing dermatitis or acne flares. Headaches are a really common sign of toxicity, as well as chronic fatigue as well.
Yes, and then we can also see hormone dominance, as I mentioned, so estrogen dominance. We can see hormone imbalance, so changes in the menstrual cycle for women that are menstruating. We can see men go through higher amounts of andropause, where they are converting their testosterone stores into estrogen. So maybe they saw some rapid body composition change, but all of a sudden now they're starting to see gynecomastia or male-formed breast. Or they can see increased belly fat or that resistance that can also then perpetuate insulin resistance and drive blood sugar complications or imbalances. We can see symptoms of toxicity also in the autoimmune category. So beyond those neurological autoimmune things like multiple sclerosis and Parkinson's disease, we can also see an influx of conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, as well as Sjogren's, and then we can see gut damage, inflammatory bowel disease, and we can definitely see a trend of cancer with higher exposure to toxins.
And I want to unpack some of the nutrients of focus for proper detoxification, because I think a keto diet itself, depending on what kind of keto we're doing, we can still be eating pretty processed if we're doing quote unquote keto kind of out of the box or relying a lot on processed foods. Yes, exactly. So what are some of the nutrients we want to focus on, and what are some of the things to stay away from?
Yeah, so maybe let's start with what you cannot do during a 10-day detox. So the first thing we want you to avoid is conventional animal proteins. So we do want you consuming animal proteins throughout the entire 10-day detox. There's actually supportive sulfur-containing amino acids in your protein-rich foods, but we want all these proteins to come from pasture-raised, grass-fed, or wild-caught sources. When we're looking at the COFA, or the confined animal farm proteins, those animals are exposed to higher amounts of antibiotics in their feed, as well as growth hormone, which can disturb your endocrine system. And we see a lot of these animals having higher amounts of glyphosate residue because they're often fed the Roundup Ready corn or those GMO related crops. And the glyphosate in those crops can actually serve as a neurotoxin. There's something called biological magnification. And so when we think of like fish, this is a reason why we say the smaller fish will have lower mercury. We know as an animal eats a toxin and then the human eats that animal, that there's a biological magnification, or that influence influence of the toxin can actually be exacerbated from the larger animal that consumes the smaller, or in our case, when we consume an animal product that's toxic. So we want to ensure that you're eating clean proteins as the first recommendation. I think the second thing to consider is that we want your detox to be free of course, any additives. So binders, fillers, stabilizers, chemicals, pretty much anything that I like to call a chemical shitstorm. Things that have more than any identifiable whole real food ingredients. And if you want to learn about how we identify a whole real food, check out the video below where we talk to you about that, and we teach you how to make our kale frittata.
Yes, and non-caloric sweeteners would be another big one in that kind of world of processed products that I think sneak in a lot in the keto diet when we're relying on bars and other kind of keto convenience foods. So those would be a big one to avoid during your detox and ongoing. And there's another video below on why we hate non-caloric sweeteners.
Yes, and then of course refined sweeteners would of course be avoided in a 10-day detox, but if you're doing keto, you're probably keeping those out anyway. Sure. Things now to consume in abundance would be ensuring that you're probably going to be getting more phyto compounds. So these are plant-based antioxidants. And one way to ensure you're doing so is to eat the rainbow when we're looking at the color spectrum of your fruits and vegetables. In our 10-day detox, we do recommend getting berries because anthocyanins are really fantastic potent antioxidants that we see in the pigments of our blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, and even cranberries. And these can have really beneficial outcomes on your vascular system, as well as supporting the phase 1 detoxification. And those antioxidants prevent the oxidative stress when we get exposure of the toxins through the cleanse.
And then during your detox, you also want to be ensuring you're getting 60 to 70 grams minimum of biological protein. So this can come from sources of clean protein like our wild-caught fish, pasture-raised chicken, grass-fed beef, and we also incorporate almost on a daily basis during the detox our grass-fed whey protein, which is a really abundant source of glutathione, a detox-supporting antioxidant, as well as all of the amino acids that are going to drive that phase 2 detoxification.
So before we go on to fiber and other food as medicine boosts, maybe we should break it down and show you guys this image of the liver and what the phases of detox are. So when we're talking about our 10-day detox, we're really talking about, again, hitting on these fat-soluble toxins, which can come from pollutants, contaminants in our environment, including pesticides, insecticides, pharmaceutical drugs or over-the-counter agents, alcohol, food additives, and even metabolic end products, so things that your body has started to metabolize but maybe doesn't have the nutrients to excrete. And we can also get toxins, it's important to note, from microorganisms, which could be imbalance from yeast or bacterial overgrowth. The first phase of nutritional detoxification uses cytochrome P450 enzymes in the liver. And what we're looking to do is to take these fat-soluble toxins and activate them by making them water-soluble. This requires a lot of antioxidants, B vitamins, as well as minerals such as zinc. We look at a variety of herbs, including things like watercress and artichoke, and a lot of flavonoids or biocompounds from our, again, fruits and vegetables. Phase 2 may be the more important component of our detoxification, where we're looking at encapsulation. So phase 1 is thought of as activation. Now we need to encapsulate these nutrients, which requires sulfur-containing amino acids. Like Becki said, we're looking at the grass-fed whey as a source of this, but the key nutrients include glutathione, as well as glycine, taurine, and then some minerals such as magnesium and more B vitamins, vitamin C, and sulfur-containing compounds. So now that those toxins went from dormant to activated to encapsulated, we need them to be excreted to get rid of them for good. So the primary mechanisms are twofold. One of the pathways of excretion is to upregulate your bile flow. Bile is going to conjugate or emulsify and gather the toxins, which are going to be excreted through the intestines through stool or bowel movements. It's important to ensure that you are having bowel regularity throughout our 10-day detox, and we'll touch in a moment on fiber, which I think is one of the elements that can sometimes lack in a ketogenic diet as well. The other mechanism of the excretion or phase 3 detox process is through your urine. So our kidneys are going to do the primary filtration, and they're going to filter your serum or your blood into urine, and hydration is essential for this. We want to ensure that we make the kidneys' job a little bit easier so they're not getting pounded with the toxins and the protein, which can create kidney damage. We want to ensure ample hydration. So we recommend 2 to 3 liters of fluid per day, as well as doing things like tea. We see benefits of the EGCG in the green tea leaf, as well as the antioxidants provided by rooibos, which can provide support for phase 1 detox while supporting that excretion of the toxins through the urine.
So a couple of ways to increase your fiber during your detox and ongoing, quite frankly, for ongoing detox support would be to include things like chia seeds, nuts and seeds, 2 to 3 cups of leafy greens, non-starchy veggies, including those cruciferous veggies that are going to both support that phase 3 and phase 2 with some of those sulfur-containing amino acids.
Yes, in fact, what's important to note is when we're looking at food as medicine to fight against cancer or to really harness the detox pathways in the body, we see that individuals that have increased phase 1 activity with inadequate phase 2, so maybe they're activating those toxins but not safely encapsulating those toxins, tend to be at higher risk for cancer. And this is because they're not getting that encapsulation excretion support. So on the other hand of the spectrum, when we hear of the benefits of sulforaphane or broccoli or these indole-3 carbanols in the sulfur-containing cruciferous as cancer fighters, that's the primary mechanism of action, that they're driving this phase 2 safe encapsulation and supporting the excretion pathways. So I think it's worth noting when we put together the Naturally Nourished Reset, Restore, Renew Detox packs, we made sure that every single pack has 3 capsules of phase 2 support with 1 capsule of phase 1 support and 1 antioxidant blend. So some of the highlights in this formula include, starting with the antioxidant blend, a good variety of minerals that provide antioxidant support, that EGCG from the green tea extract, as well as turmeric, grapeseed to get that resveratrol and the proanthocyanins. And then also we see reverse lipoic acid and acetylcysteine and other powerful antioxidants.
And then the phase 1 supplement is going to be more liver gallbladder focused. We see in here some vitamin A, B6 and B12, methionine as an amino acid, milk thistle, which is very supportive of liver function, taurine, inositol, which falls into the B vitamin family, ox bile to really get that bile flow going, artichoke for a little bit of bitters, and beet powder.
So then in that phase 2, you're going to see a thorough list of the sulfur-containing amino acids in a potent delivery. 3 capsules is going to be a safe way to ensure that you are thoroughly encapsulating and really excreting those toxins. As you like to say, when you're in a low-calorie state or you're hypocaloric and you're breaking down your body fat, if you're not driving that liberation of toxins in the phase 1 and phase 2 more important processes, it's like you're taking a bath in dirty water and not rinsing out that bath water.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. And I think important to note that all the detox packs are the same, right? So they've all got that antioxidant blend, they've all got the phase 1, and they all have the phase 2 support. I think we get that question quite often of, where's my phase 1 pack and where's my phase 2? So we combined it all because you do need all of that support on a daily basis when you're going through a 10-day detox.
Yes, so these handy little packs can be thrown in your purse, diaper bag, briefcase, wherever it needs to go. And you can use these detox packs to support your lifestyle. So if you're getting your hair colored, if you're consuming alcohol, these could be taken prior or post a lifestyle stressor. But if you're taking our 10-day detox protocol, you're going to do a pack at rise and a pack at bed all 10 days. And then at days 5 through 8, you're gonna level up a little bit and add a 3rd pack in the middle of the day around your lunch hour.
Great.
Did we do something? We made a video.
Good.
Take a picture.
God.